Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 286. We're back in separate locations to talk about another week of professional wrestling. It's me, my co-host and son, Jack, about an hour and a half away, back in his university residence. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite. We're going to talk about NXT. We're going to talk about Raw. We'll mention Smackdown because there was some notable stuff happen there, right? I'm probably even going to talk about New Japan briefly because I did watch some Wrestle Kingdom. There are timestamps you can navigate to whatever you would prefer to watch or listen to, depending what platform you're watching us on, listening to us on. We will banter for a little bit right now. I don't know how much because I haven't had a very exciting week, to be honest.
I wouldn't say I did.
So I made it through the holidays with everybody else getting sick and me not, but now I am. I'll probably sound a little bit congested. I'm on a beautiful new microphone, probably my favorite mic aesthetically. I have a microphone addiction, so I ordered another cheap one. I love the look of it. We'll see how it sounds once we're done here. So you've started a new semester and new courses, you said?
Yeah.
Seems to be going okay, but you want to get rid of psychology?
Yeah, we're changing it around still.
Nice. And then what else have you been doing since you got back? Anything exciting? Watching Marvel movies in the common room, you were saying?
Yeah, pretty much. That's about it.
While you're trying to watch wrestling?
Yeah.
We'll talk about it here. You said you didn't watch any New Japan. We try not to talk wrestling in the banter, but what are you going to do? So I watched everything, I think somewhat ironically, except for the main event. So I haven't seen Okada.
I will probably watch that at some point.
I heard good things about it, and it was not like I was avoiding it, but I was just kind of watching it because I had some time. I watched so much wrestling this week. I watched JCW as well. I even watched a bit of Smackdown. I watched all of Raw this week for whatever reason. It was crazy. But I will say my general thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom, because I seem to watch a bit of it every year. I think I start out going...
We watched it last year.
Right? It's one of their big shows, and it's
their big show, yeah.
And it's the new year, so I'm like, maybe I'll watch more New Japan, which is what I constantly say.
Yeah, I think I watched less New Japan last year because I watched a bit of Wrestle Kingdom, but I didn't watch any G1, which is usually the only other thing I watch.
The opening, they call it a Rambo match, which was a trios Royal Rumble, essentially, was awful. Awful. Boring, awful stuff. I don't even know who won. I can't remember. It was so bad. And then everything else was kind of fine to good. I was texting you what was his name? Aaron Wolf? Was that his name?
Yeah.
Who's an MMA guy who was or a judo guy? I think an Olympic judo.
It's his first. I mean, he must be something if he's debuting on Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
I don't think let's throw that away.
It was his first professional match, they were saying. He definitely connected with the crowd as a babyface. Yeah. So there's potential there. He didn't do a lot. He spent most of it getting beaten up, but he ended up winning the match, right? So was that for a title or anything? I can't remember. It wasn't it? Was it for the never open weight?
Wolf?
Yeah.
No,
it was just nothing.
I think so.
I can't remember.
I think it's just a debut match.
And then I told you Takeshita Tsuji was awesome, and I would recommend people check that out. That's what I was there for, to be honest. And then I sort of just watched all of the stuff leading up to it because I wasn't busy. So Takeshita Tsuji was awesome, as you would expect. And then everything else was kind of okay. And again, I haven't seen Tanahashi Okada, which I've heard very good things about. And the aftermath. I don't even know what happened in the aftermath, but I heard the tribute or whatever it was.
Ospreay came out. Jay White came out. Naito came out. Even Ibushi, which is crazy because Ibushi was like basically exiled, I think.
Right.
A lot of people came out.
That's cool.
So yeah.
I was never a huge Tanahashi guy, but he was obviously a big deal.
Apparently, I've seen I think it was Alvarez talking about how Nakamura wanted to be there, but they booked him for a minute segment with Tama Tonga, I think.
Just so that he couldn't be, probably?
I think so.
I
think so.
That's how we feel WWE would handle it. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case, for sure.
I think so.
Anything else exciting going on with you?
I don't think so.
No, never. We live pretty mundane lives at this point. Just snow in this area. I think a city close to us, I was listening to their radio station, so our weather's been pretty similar. I think they said out of the last 46 days or something, it snowed 32 times or something. It's basically cold, snow, windy, no sun almost every day. So it gets frustrating, but it got warmer yesterday. Anyways, no one cares about the weather where we live because we never really talk about where we live specifically other than it's Canada. Heck yes, Canada.
Yeah.
So I say we get into talking about wrestling. First segment every week, we take a look at some of the week's wrestling news and rumors. All right, news this
They
week
hosted.
again. I didn't have anything humongous, but I did find some stuff. I told you reports are, and I don't think either of us are surprised, that WWE is very interested, or at least he's on their radars, how is it described, is Powerhouse Hobbs from AEW. And just makes sense, right?
Take Wardlow.
He's kind
They can
of
have Wardlow.
he kind of has that WWE look to him, you know.
He does.
Big,
If you get Hobbs, they can have Wardlow. I don't want him.
Big, powerful guy. We were saying, like, I don't see him as ever like a main eventer, but he's great as a heater or
I think the role he's in right now is perfect.
Yes, he's in a good role now.
They can, if they want muscle guys with Wardlow, they can have him.
Yeah.
Hell, I think Wardlow's so great they can have him right now.
I kind of forgot he existed, obviously, but
he's got injured right after he returned, and I also don't care that he's gone.
Yeah.
So
I think I have 4 more stories, so we'll see if you take any of mine.
I got 5.
Go for it.
We'll see.
Perfect. We got 5 each.
So you're talking about Wrestle Kingdom a bit, and so right after Wrestle Kingdom, New Year Dash or whatever, I guess I'll kind of there's kind of a few things to talk about, but Tsuji brought back the IWGP V4, the heavyweight belt.
The one you prefer?
Like the beautiful one.
Yeah.
The one everyone prefers. Like the one that like Omega had and the one Okada had before they unified it with the Intercontinental title, right? So he brought that back, and then what's interesting also is with Tanahashi's blessing, it's also bringing back the lineage of the original title.
Right.
So now instead of him being the 20th world champion, we'll say, now the world title, the ugly-ish one that Takeshita had, that one's gonna be retroactively added to the original lineage. So now Tsuji's the 87th heavyweight champion. It's back to being the heavyweight title instead of the world heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the Intercontinental title's not back though, which sucks. They're keeping the global title, which I think is lame. I would rather have the Intercontinental title. And then
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like the bingo card that you're creating should include Jack talks details of a belt's appearance,
something
or Jack notices details of a theme song.
Speaking of belt, then now Takeshita going down the card, he's challenging ELP for that horribly ugly brown rectangle.
Really?
At whatever their next show is. This is going to be the one time where I'm going to be mad if Takeshita wins a belt. I do not want to see him holding that stupid ugly rectangle on AEW. I don't want to see that belt.
Match should be good. I hate
that belt.
We like ELP.
They've had good matches. They've had good matches, and I think both of the recent G1s.
Yeah.
But I do not want to see that belt anywhere on, because I don't want to see that belt. It's terrible. It's hideous.
It is hideous.
And then didn't he put up a post-match promo with a bunch of people, and it's now he's got that new group with some of the War Dog guys and some of his guys.
Sorry, who did? Who cut the promo?
Tsuji.
Okay.
Remember, it's a new group now. Bullet Club's dead.
Yeah, I heard it's done. I saw Balor.
I watched Wrestle Juice talk about it.
Mm.
It's one of the guys from Steven Larson, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about how Bullet Club is kind of dead.
Yeah.
Although I've seen some people say otherwise now, but it's they're this new group that's not Bullet Club, and you have the guys that are left of Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of talking about this when if Connors and Finley go, and that's 2 more Bullet Club guys gone, then it's only Gabe Kidd and Drilla, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Which is kind of crazy considering how influential Bullet Club was. It was basically the modern day NWO, right?
It was
very
much
huge. A similar cloth.
A couple of its iterations were humongous for New Japan.
It was definitely the Omega variation that was huge. I think was the biggest one, because I think it started to die off under Jay White, and then I think Finley is just
it was big with Balor too.
It was obviously it got big with Balor and Styles,
and AJ,
the Elite.
Yeah.
Really, what took it off though was the Elite, right?
Yeah.
I think it's crazy that Vince he could have done that, because I think I saw either I think it was the Good Brothers who talked about it, or maybe it was Balor.
Mm-hmm.
But they could have done a Bullet Club in WWE with Styles and Balor and Good Brothers. And it's crazy they didn't do that. They kind of did that with remember they had the Club and then the OC, but
yeah.
And then there was Balor Club for a bit, which is Balor with the Good Brothers, but they never really fully did that. Which I think is kind of such a crazy thing to not do.
I know. It's not their idea, I think, is probably. Sort of segueing from that is that WWE apparently are also contemplating David Finlay, and
not surprised. We were kind of talking about it when we were talking about his contract status last week, because it's just he's a second generation guy, right?
Yes.
They always put that.
And apparently,
even if you suck and have no talent, and
that's right,
your dad's on the board.
Apparently, the
For-
debate is main roster or NXT, and that it seems, I don't know.
NXT.
Again, this is all speculation. Is that he would land in NXT and kind of be perfect to be kind of a big deal there, because he doesn't feel like a big deal.
He would not be a big deal in the main roster.
And they have just lost a bunch of talent, right? So he would replace
that. He could help with the talent. The talent leaving, he would be a bigger deal. His brother's there, as well,
right?
I think it would behoove him to go there.
I think it's a better fit for him.
Yeah,
we're not huge. We're not huge fans, but yes, a fit Finley for him. Your turn, sir.
Jacob Fatu returns to interfere in the 3 Stages of Hell match, and Drew McIntyre actually wins the title.
Are they going to the hooded person showing up? Like, that seems to be a lot right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know how many times they did that during the Bloodline saga?
Yeah.
But, like, okay, so first off, I can't believe that, like, McIntyre actually won the belt. Like, I didn't think that would actually happen. I saw that. I was like, I got so excited.
So I did watch that match this morning, I guess it was.
I don't think I wanted to.
It was, like, good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they let the title change hands at not only a non-Big Four PLE, but a non-PLE, like, just on SmackDown, which is crazy.
Well, I think maybe they're hearing all of the
I don't buy that
complaints about their shows being just not interesting, right? So this is the classic you gotta watch because important stuff happens.
Or is Triple H gonna say it's a new era again?
Maybe.
So, like, it seems like they're teasing heel Cody, which I doubt it because they don't seem to want to.
He's always a heel. I don't care what anyone says.
And I like. So it's kind of cool because McIntyre's the first guy to hold both, like, current designs of the world titles.
Yeah.
Even though he held the one for like 5 minutes. I saw someone joke, like, by the end of the night, I think he'd already held this belt for longer than his last world title run.
Right. And we were talking about it before we recorded. Neither of us have confidence that they're going to book him strongly.
With the being main roster, I'm skeptical they'll give me what I actually want. I'm really happy he got his moment, like, overseas, and like I was telling you, I think they're doing something in Scotland because they just posted about how he's, like, champion in Scotland, which is really cool for him.
Yeah.
I just don't think they'll give him the title reign he deserves, depending on who wins whatever the number one contenders thing they're doing next week.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if he makes it past the Rumble, just because they hate to give us good things, I guess.
I think there's a better chance that he's closer to a transitional champion than, like, a peak champion, or like a very, you know what I mean?
I think he should be holding it till at least, like, SummerSlam. Like, I would love that.
We're on record of being like, he'd be the guy. I put it on for a very long time if it's me.
I've been waiting for this for 2024 notwithstanding. I've been waiting for this for, like, at least 5 years.
My confidence is not high that it will go the way we would like it to.
As long as the belt doesn't go back to Roman or Cody, then that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
But even saying that, I know that's, like, a risky thing to say.
There's nobody that they seem to want to put into the top tier.
They don't seem to want to put anyone new other than, like, even Breaker. They're hesitant to, like, go all in still.
It should be Fatu, right?
It should be Fatu and Breaker, I think.
Yeah.
Fatu's your SmackDown. He's kind of babyface-ish, although now I don't know.
Well, Breaker just lost clean in the main event, so...
Yeah, Breaker's like... I saw how he lost, too. He, like, demolishes Punk, then Punk just knees him off a spear and 1 GTS and it's done.
That's right.
I saw that.
I watched the match.
Yeah, I saw the finish at least. But yeah, like, Breaker and Fatu should be your guys breaking up. I would even, like, in an ideal world, Dragunov and Melo get there as well.
Sure.
Obviously not.
Yeah, I know.
In an ideal world, that's like I was saying to you, the tournament matches. So, like, I saw all to say it's 4 one-on-one matches in next week in the UK, and then it's a fatal 4-way for the number one contendership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the matches were what was it? Cardona Trick, yikes. Orton Miz, yikes. Priest Solo, yikes. And then the only good match is Dragunov Sammy, which I think is, like, would be a solid TV match because they already had that match where Dragunov won the US title.
I had the bus driver that likes wrestling again on Thursday. He was driving your brother's team to where we played, and he is very much a main roster guy. But I did find it endearing. He loves Carmelo.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. There's still people I like. It's just, like, I don't know. I always feel awkward and, like, people, like, relate. They're like, oh yeah, I love Bland. I'm just like, yeah.
I know. I don't have faith that they'll use any of the people I like in a way that I like. Yeah. But I do like. There's our issue with WWE is never the talent, right? The talent's there, but it's
they
just
have, like, the talent. It's like
everything else.
One of the things it's always like that. They see Javon as a star, but not as a franchise player. Like, why even say that?
I know. They're basically just pigeonholing him immediately, right?
And like they had him sign his contract on a commercial break this week.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people pan that already, rightfully so.
Yeah, I watched that as well. Did you see Ted DiBiase Jr.'s trial has begun?
Oh, why are we talking about Ted DiBiase Jr.? Damn.
Because I just want to point out what it's allegedly a piece of trash this guy is. So the opening.
Yeah, I remember like hearing about this. It was a couple years ago. This broke out.
So I don't know if you know this, but Mississippi, it might literally be the poorest state in the United States. If not, it is one of them. And he is accused of stealing siphoning, quote, millions of dollars from federal welfare.
His dad or his brother too.
So he's the one most involved. I know Senior, his name was included in the beginning of this.
I feel like I remember seeing his name included. Yeah. Or what's his brother's name? Brad or something?
I think so. So siphoned millions of dollars from federal welfare funds to finance his own lavish lifestyle. His defense team is arguing that he is an innocent businessman who was manipulated by corrupt state officials. So they're not even like, doesn't even sound like they're disputing that, yes, the fraud absolutely took place.
But I'm like, no, he didn't do it.
I was just a tool. Yeah, I was just used I was duped by the government into somehow obtaining millions of dollars for yourself, but you had nothing to do with that? How does that work? How can I benefit millions of dollars from government fraud and be like, nope, didn't know, didn't understand, my bad. But anyways, so if it's true, I hope he gets what he deserves. Seems, again, all alleged at this point.
Yeah.
But anyways, your turn.
One of my favorite things, or actually was my favorite thing from last week's SmackDown, not this week because I didn't get to talk about it last week, was Kit Wilson.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it was so great. Oh my God. I love it. He's got new Tron graphics in with his recent new theme song. Apparently he's had the theme song for a few months, but he's been on main event. So like no one watches that. I saw them put up like the full episode of main event, I think from yesterday.
Yeah.
And I just like skimmed over the timeline. It's like, okay, there's a couple matches. I think it was like War Raiders, Americanos, and then Tonga and Apollo Crews, I think.
My God.
And it's just like the recap stuff. It's still main event. It's still what it is, right?
Yeah.
But like I love what they've done with him. It's so great. Like
I am not like I'm fine with it. Just looks like they asked AI to generate like I don't know.
No, it looks. I saw him post some behind the scenes of his graphics. It looks great. Like some of it looks like Take On Me ish.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it looks like they put a lot of effort in for some reason. I don't know why. It feels so random.
Just to troll you because you're gonna be like they need to push him and then they'll never do anything.
I know they won't.
Of course,
because they said they see him as the Heath Slater type, which is fine. Like because I think he seems like a good guy to put people over. But like it's great. Like I love his theme song too. It's so like. It's like really girl popish and catchy, which I hated for Blake Monroe because I don't think it suits her, but I think it suits him perfectly.
It does.
And like Def Rebel must love Pretty Deadly for some reason because they nailed this theme song and Pretty Deadly's like last tag theme.
Yeah.
I also think is really good.
You're hyped on it. I'm closer to indifferent on it.
I really enjoy it. I love it. It's such a good fit for him.
I've still only seen it once, so maybe I'll check it out again.
The whole like his whole character's like calling the fans toxic. He's like against toxic masculinity, and I think it's so perfect for that, like the lyrics and everything. And I've seen like videos about it all week long. People are like praising and dancing and whatever. Like, and the whole thing is like his character's against toxic masculinity. I've seen like grown man dancing to this, so it's like it's kind of working,
but he's getting over organically. So you know how that works.
Yeah. It's a death sentence for him, but like it does go to show they just put a good presentation on him and he's already over. It's been like a week.
It'd be cool if they moved him to NXT with that gimmick and let him sort of develop it.
Like would love this gimmick. Yeah. And it's so funny because like they're chanting his catchphrase during the match of Cardona. Like it's Cardona's main roster debut, like under that gimmick.
Yeah.
And he was like the least interesting part for me. Like I think I've watched that entrance over numerous times. I couldn't care less about Cardona.
Yeah, I know.
But like I think as long as you give Kit Wilson his entrance every week, if he loses, I don't think it matters. Like he's super over right now. I thought
he doesn't seem like a guy that needs to win to just keep doing what he's doing, right?
Hey, if he went like mid card title level, I'd love it, but I'm not expecting anything. I think just the presentation they've given him is so great. Like it's really weird, but it's like it's kind of like Fletcher in the sense of like just making the most of when the other partner's injured because I think the other guy's out for a while still.
Yes, he is. Apparently, it's like neck surgery and bad.
It's really bad. Yeah. So that sucks. But I mean, Kit Wilson seems to be making the most of it, man. And like
We'll see.
it looks like I love his presentation. I love it. It's great.
And that's you praising WWE main roster, so that's no joke.
I would love to see a better theme song this year.
Yeah. Ready for some CM Punk bias to come through here. So if you're a big fan of CM Punk, I apologize. But so remember, Kevin Nash made a comment about your champion wrestling in a t-shirt is sad. And then on a house show, he was facing he being Punk, that is, was facing Bronson Reed, and he like teased taking his t-shirt off, and then he finally did, and he had another shirt underneath.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, CM Punk. CM Punk claims it had nothing to do with Nash's comments.
That's
a lie, right? Like, tell me when I'm telling lies. Right now is when you're telling lies. He wants to be like, oh, nothing bothers me, and your comments just roll right off me. I'm so cool. But it eats him alive, and you can tell. And this was a response to it. And so own that and just be like, this really pissed me off. So I thought it'd be funny to, but it's like, nope, didn't have anything to. Of course it did. Of course it did. Like, this is what drives me crazy about him, right? Is he wants to present himself one way, and then there's all this evidence to the contrary. And it's just funny to me. Like, dude, yes, you were. Of course you were. This was a response to Kevin Nash. He's like, I did it to make my opponent laugh. No, you didn't. Because it wasn't funny.
Would that matter?
Without that context of...
It's not funny.
It's not even anything. Removed from the context of Nash criticizing you, it's not anything. So of course it's a response to what he said. But no, nothing. I don't hear any of that. None of that bothers me. I was just having fun, brother. But anyways.
Brother.
But he did have some other quotes that were not wrestling related that I agree more with this week. But anyways, that's not what we talk about on this pod. So I only have one more. Your turn.
One of my last ones was Jay White. Yeah, even though he was at Wrestle Kingdom, he's still not cleared.
Yeah.
He's not expected back anytime soon. Apparently, he underwent shoulder surgery while he was out, so I don't know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just a broken hand.
We were joking that shoulder surgery is the cool thing to do right now. Everybody's just doing it.
I don't know what does the guy have to do to get Switchblade back? Like, what do I gotta do? I'm at the end of my rope here.
You got to stop predicting he returns on shows and stuff. I think is what you got to do. You're cursing him.
I gotta manifest it.
You're cursing him. You're manifesting the opposite. Yeah. This is funny too. Bruce Pritchard. So in 2025, right? I think we all noticed that WWE shifted its approach to premium PLEs, sort of are shorter, fewer matches, like 4 or 5 matches on the card or whatever.
Pretty much always 5, sometimes 4.
So Bruce Pritchard explained this shift, and it is, ready? I'll pause for you to agree or disagree. To focus on quality over quantity. So would you say the quality, like there was a significant uptick in quality in 2025? No, there was a huge decline, if anything,
There's
right?
A huge decline in quality and also an uptick in quantity because they do more events.
Correct. Okay.
So if anything, it's wrong on both fronts.
So you're taking issue with quantity.
Not only is it not quality, but it's also not quality over quantity. It's quantity over quality, and both, like, no.
So then you must agree with the next point, which is allowing storylines to develop. No. The storylines are worse. No, like
the storylines are worse, and I saw some people point out that like having less matches also gives less opportunity for these stories to be finished on big stages, right? Like because you have to be so selective with what you're putting on. These 5-match shows.
I think even WWE fans will admit that the storylines are not as good as they were coming out of like peak bloodline stuff and whatnot.
Depends on who you ask,
I guess. Okay, so we're not on board with that. And then it's allowing top stars to shine.
When don't they?
And then, quote...
The same people shine anyways.
And then he decides to go to let's just flip the corporate jargon switch. And the next thing is, they're highlighting key rivalries and top stars to create a more streamlined viewing experience aligned with fan preference. So gross.
That's like such word vomit.
So
and it's like, tell me what's streamlined about like more shows in my face with like on multiple platforms you have to get, and then also with like a million ads in between.
And so, worse like, stories.
Where's the streamline there?
That is just a corporate jargon statement, right? Like that meant nothing. But I just thought
jumbo.
I thought you would disagree with pretty much every single aspect of that statement. Yep. And that is all I have, sir.
The last one I had was, I know you're excited that Shota Umino re-signed with New Japan. And
he's the future.
I wrote this down because at least New Japan's keeping somebody.
They are keeping somebody who I'm not sure can ever ascend to what they need him to be.
No, probably not.
And I'm not a New Japan expert. It's just that match really poisoned me. Really poisoned me against him.
If you didn't already love Sabre so much, then he would be destroyed for you too.
It made me angry, that match. But anyways, if we ever do the worst of, it'll come up for sure. Mm-hmm. All right, that's going to wrap up our news. We'll move into the most detailed review we do every week. It's the thing we care about most. It's talking about AEW Dynamite. So full disclosure, I basically saw the second half of Dynamite twice because when we joined this call, there was miscommunication. I thought you were ready to record and you thought I was meeting you to watch the last hour. So I've definitely seen it a bunch. So remind me the first hour, though, because that I might not remember as well.
Yeah. They had a whole entrance for JR, right? Which
they did.
Feel is worth noting. But
and listen, I am super glad he's healthy enough to come back. I think it's because they were in Oklahoma, right? And he was able to.
Also, yeah.
But like, I don't really think he adds anything to the product. He didn't really detract either.
Take away, yeah.
I think I only made one note of something he said that was odd. But other than that, I mean, I don't really think he adds anything and they don't need another commentator. But I am glad that he's well enough to do these things. I'll say that.
Yeah. We get Don Callis backstage. Renee tells us Jet Speed had been attacked backstage. Won't be clear for the trios match. The Demand and Callis come in. It's kind of like Renee's saying like, oh, someone wants to take Ricochet up on the whatever bounty he said. And Ricochet's simply saying it was a gentleman's agreement. Like he just said, I'll pay you if you happen to beat them up, right?
He basically defines exactly what a bounty is, but
then calls it something else.
In a way, he's trying to gaslight, like, no, it's not. And she's like, no, that's literally what a bounty is. And yeah, the fact that he's like, it's a gentleman's agreement made me laugh.
That's what him and Callis say, yeah. And then Callis says someone or something got very rich. In comes Jake something and Mark Davis. And Callis hypes them up. So this was solid. Cool to see Jake something, I guess Jake Doyle.
Yep.
In AEW. Callis family means he gets on TV, but hopefully he gets booked decent. I think him and Davis is a sick Haas tag team if that's what we're doing.
I do too.
Like, that would be really sick.
And I also think the Callis family need like a dedicated tag team that this is what
I agree.
They
we
do.
Don't have murder machines right now, right?
Right.
Cage is still going.
Right. So
I also think this is more interesting than murder machines.
Jake something is cool. He's got a cool look. He doesn't, again, putting him with Callis because speaking is not his strength, right? Yep. Makes sense. And
this is also cool.
You now have like a Haas guy in Davis, and something's a different sort of Haas. He's more like the super jacked guy, not just a big, naturally strong guy. But I'm pretty interested. I mean, Callis family may need to thin their ranks a little bit because they add more even here. Like, let's be real. Rocky Romero, goodbye. Lance Archer, goodbye. Even Cage when he's back, goodbye. Like don't
keep Cage. He could be a fall guy, and I want to see Drill Claw.
That's true. Drill Claw's amazing.
The Drill Claw keeps him around. Keeps his job.
A very large faction at this point. But yeah, I was happy to see Jake something. I always say AEW doesn't need more talent, but I think this guy's. I don't understand how.
But then they sign people we like.
How did TNA not ever?
That's what everyone's been saying.
I don't understand. And we've seen him on indie stuff too.
They had
live.
I mean, although I don't know if he was ever signed, but he was there a lot. They also had Mordos. Let's not forget, Mordos was a regular for TNA a while back.
I sometimes don't, and then they go like, "Hey, let's put the main title on Kaz in 2026." Like, come on, maybe in 2015 or something. But anyways, so yeah. Welcome, Jake something.
Jake Doyle.
When you texted that, you're like, Jake Doyle is all elite. I'm like, I don't know.
Like that to see if you'd know or not.
I had no idea.
That's why I thought it'd be funny.
It was.
Yeah, and then so that's interesting, I guess. I mean, hopefully, as long as they do stuff with him, it's all right. Yep. I mean, hey, by the looks of it, looks like there's no room for Wardlow to come back into the council.
What a shame.
What a shame.
Off to WWE, maybe his contract's expiring too.
I mean, one can hope. Which sounds mean, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Opening match, it's Jonathan Moxley and Shelton Benjamin. It's another one of the Continental title eliminators. If Shelton wins or just doesn't lose, he gets a title shot.
Yeah, and the doesn't lose part matters because it started to feel to me like they were going time limit draw, right? Like,
I do like the swerve they pulled off here,
because
yeah.
it was super competitive and lengthy, so I started to think, oh, maybe they're going draw and Shelty will get a shot, but
Yeah, I do think they played it really well.
Yep.
German suplex from Shelton early on. Shelton clotheslined Moss over the barricade, but there was a bit of crowd brawling, which I didn't really note much of. German suplex on the floor from Shelton. Mox knocks him off the apron with a shotgun dropkick. Shelton with an avalanche underhook suplex. Moxie goes for a pile driver, but Shelton counters, throws him around with a few more Germans. We get a roundhouse, and then from Shelton, and then Mox comes back with that one, like that flash cutter for 2. Suicide dive from Moxley. He goes for a lariat later on, but Shelton catches him with pay dirt for a 2 count, which I always like to see that. It's basically like what Kendall Gray does, I guess.
Yeah.
Which we kind of said when she started doing it. Like, I was like, oh, yeah, that's pay dirt.
Yep.
Mox misses a dive, then Shelton hits a super kick to his bad leg and then another to the face for a 2 count. Mox locks in a sleeper hold with 1 minute remaining. Shelton gets out, pump knee for 2. Shelton gets him in a triangle choke in the last 30 seconds, but Mox is able to like stack him up real high for a pin, and Mox is able to get eke out the win.
Yeah, so if you listen to this show, you know crowd brawling isn't like almost an automatic I'm disengaged, because it's so limiting, right? It's, first of all, one guy has to awkwardly like back up the stairs or whatever, and all you can really do is punch and kick. Although I do remember, what was it, women's match, there was a finisher put on through the railing. I think it was Banks and Charlotte.
Yeah, back in 2016. That's a deep pull for you.
So that's actually memorable to me. But I will say, I thought once the crowd brawling was finished, this built into a really good match.
I thought it started slow, and like I wasn't super into it in the first half, but the second half it got there, I thought.
And I think the crowd also mimics our opinion on that, because their energy was not there for the first half.
Yeah. But
in the second half they did. And I assumed Mox would win, but then they did start to make me think, oh, maybe it's going to a draw.
The time limit draw, right? Which I think is smart, because the title is such a strict time limit. With like the world title or whatever, it's like, I think it's different because like you have half an hour. Like, so remember Cole and MJF went to a draw and eliminator, and then that was a whole 5 more minutes thing, right? So I think it's a unique wrinkle for the Continental eliminators. I don't think it necessarily needs to be a thing. I mean, it could. I wouldn't even hate if it's a thing for all the eliminators, because then it's like, at least if you can like prove yourself against the champ, and it keeps Moxley from losing too if you want to give up a title shot, right? So there's options there.
You can set up title shots without the champion losing, which I think is fair. So yeah, this ended up being a strong opening match, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. I think I can see like a thread of these early eliminators with it, like that Moxley is kind of he got beat down for most of the match, I think, right?
Yeah.
And but he's still coming out by the skin of his teeth, and it's kind of in the mold of Cassidy's international title run, which is ironic because Moxley ended that title run, right?
Right.
So I wonder, like, that's what I was saying to you, is I think that could play into the Death Rider's turn, is like he's getting his ass handed to him every match, and like he barely ekes out the win. So it's like, yeah, he's still getting there, but he's not getting the job in like dominant fashion like he used to, right? So you can still kind of play that into the turn if you want.
Right, like we win by beating the hell out of people. We don't win by getting our asses kicked and eking out a win at the end, right? So they could still have a problem.
They go from like destroying people to like Moxley's like, he's a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest, barely eking out wins. Or like, they can even argue like you used to be taking out like former world champions like Copeland and Hangman and Switchblade, and like, or Cassidy was even like a former major champion, right? But then now you're barely getting by Josh Alexander and Shelton Benjamin, which it sounds insulting to them, but you can frame it in a way where it's like not.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, right? Like, it's like you can say like you used to be beating like a higher caliber of talent, we'll say. Like, it's not untrue to say that.
And now you're struggling to pin a tag team, half of a tag team guy, right?
Half of a tag team wrestler, or one of Don Callis' like not top guys. It's not like, it's different. I think there's a difference between like he struggled against Fletcher, but he struggled like there's a difference between that and Takeshita, whereas and Okada as opposed to Alexander, right? So like there's kind of a difference there. So I think you can parlay that into the term, which I think is still happening. I don't know, like, because there's no like the Death Riders on the whole are clearly not turning babyface right now. Moxley already is, and I don't think that really works well for a long-term faction. So something has to change.
Something's got to give, right?
Which I worry it's the Death Riders face turn, but it seems more likely that they turn on Moxley than turn face right now.
What gimmick were we working where they all have new names when they turn face?
Oh yeah.
Instead of the crowd chanting F you Yuta, they're gonna chant Love you Yuta.
Yeah.
The problem is going to be the solution.
The solution. What's because Claudio's the emissary of violence. What do you? Well, I forget.
The emissary of kindness, I think it was.
Yeah, right. And then Garcia's Red Death, right?
So yeah, it had to be like the opposite of whatever. What's the opposite of red? Green life? I don't know. As a colorblind, colorblind boy, I don't know.
Actually, one of the guys here, I think, is color deficient. I was talking to him yesterday. He was saying like you couldn't see certain colors, and I was like, "Are you sure you're colorblind?"
He sounds cool. I like him.
I do like him actually. Yeah.
Colorblind people are the best.
But yeah, and then there's the bastard, which I don't know. I don't remember what we did for that. But
Me either.
The emissary of kindness is the one I like.
Emissary of kindness is great.
That makes the whole gimmick worth it.
Yeah, I think so.
That's like Talatonga. That name's so bad that I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, we get.
I think it was the custard because it's like sweet and a dessert. The custard, the custard pack. Yeah.
And then you just need to find a name for the Death Riders, and then you're good.
Well,
or maybe you don't because
it's so opposite of death is life. What's the opposite of rider? The life drivers. Because you're not a passenger, you're the driver. I don't know.
Life driver.
We'll have to work it out.
Actually, life driver is not even a bad name for a move either, because like drivers are a thing. So you could just like the Death Rider, the move becomes the life driver, and then since the faction's named after the move, they by proxy become the life rider drivers. Yeah,
we got there.
Yeah, no, sure. And so you get a recap of Tana's retirement match and Okada winning that. Then you recap of Omega's promo last week. He's gonna be back at Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, Maximum Carnage.
I like that we brought that name back from last year. That's something we definitely needed to bring back. And it feels like something I needed.
Yeah. Yeah, I did the same. I lumped all those things together.
Yeah.
Darby.
And then we get...
And Tanahashi, and then Omega wants a title shot. Yeah.
Then we get the Demand taking on Jack Perry and nobody, because Jet Speed are gone, but then...
Question mark?
Comes out, and we hear the Bucks' old theme song, and they come out with their old theme and entrance with like the cash blown out of the pyro things. They got tassels back on their boots and their gear. They're back like whole babyface thing. Like it's full babyface Bucks now, like 2019 era Bucks.
Yeah.
Which like I'd be lying if I say I didn't like that. Like I thought that was cool, and like I've been saying for a while now, like they weren't coming out to music, then they came out to the Elite theme song. Like I've been saying for a while they were gonna bring back their theme song, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of saw this coming. I didn't know they would go like full kind of OG Bucks look. Mm-hmm. So I kind of like that at least. Thought that's kind of cool, and like it's a little nostalgic. I feel like cause I think it's been a while since like they've done like the full like tassels on the boots and like the real whole like this version of the Bucks, right? Like they even when they turned back babyface after being like super mega heels in the Elite, that they were still not wearing like the tassels and everything. Like,
we got so, it's like the Rockers Bucks we got back.
Kinda, right? Yeah. Like so I kinda like that. I like that. So it was cool seeing them back with Perry. They're in like their full babyface garb. So I thought that was really cool. And the crowd certainly seemed to like it once the music hit.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was great. We get a brawl breaking out early on. Nick takes out Go with the Fosbury flop looking dive to the floor. Perry with the dive moonsault on the Go on the floor. Then he darts in the ring and spears Ricochet. Matt with the wheelbarrow facebuster to Ricochet, and then Perry falls to the DDT for 2. Khan throws Perry in the barricade, and Ricochet takes out both Bucks with the dive, which the camera almost didn't catch. He kind of catched the tail end of that. Nick Jackson with the hot tag flurry. Bucks with stereo dives in the ring on Goa. Nick hits a slingshot to start to Ricochet, then the Bucks hit him with a double foot-stomp powerbomb thingy for a 2 count as Perry moonsaults on the Goa on the floor. Toa hits a 3-man Samoan drop, which was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So that looked awesome. Then Khan hit a running suplex to Perry, which he did. I think it was on the pre-show World's End.
It looks cool
on the ramp. It's really cool.
Like he gets really low. Yeah.
Yeah, and like he runs really quick. I guess you have to, but like it's really cool. Go ahead and assisted cutter to Perry, then Ricochet with vertigo for 2, but the Bucks break it up. Ricochet with the pump knee, and then he lifts Perry into the fireman's carry, but Perry counters into Poison Rana. Toa Leona takes a crazy amount of super kicks. He takes 1 super kick from each Buck, then a double super kick from both Bucks, then a triple super kick from the Bucks and Perry. So it takes a lot to chop down Leona. Perry and Matt hit a Doomsday device to Ricochet as Nick dies on Nagoa. Then we get a BT trigger and Perry's running knee to Ricochet for the win. Then we get Doyle and Davis attacking after the bell. I think we need to call their team D&D because it fits them, but then it's also like D&D's like do not disturb,
and
so it's like
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. And then you could like play on. Oh, is that Dungeons and Dragons because you like Stranger Things because you watch Raw?
I do. I love it now.
Yeah. But like I think that'd be a cool name for them because you can like you need something, right?
Yep.
Throws Perry over the barricades. The Bucks get beat down in the ring. Jesse come down with weapons to fend them off. Lights go out. Andrade's back. He beats them up, and then FTR are on the stage for some reason. I don't know why they're there.
Yeah. So the match was like
I thought this was really fun. I enjoyed it.
It's the standard fare, and I don't mean that non-complimentary of a trios match on Dynamite, right? They're always super fun.
We've been getting these as regularly with the C2 around, so I'm glad we got the multi-man tag back in the formula.
Crowd was super into it. There were like numerous stretches of just like non-stop action, and I've heard people complaining about Ricochet being a champion and getting pinned. I don't think with the character Ricochet's working, it matters at all.
Think it's fine.
And do you think...
also, I don't care about his belt.
Does Perry pinning him mean that Perry's getting a shot or getting in a program? Like, I don't know.
I don't know, because they already played that card with him pinning Ricochet in the pre-show match and then getting the title shot last week. So I don't know if that's the card they're playing again or...
Really entertaining trios match, bottom line.
Yeah, I thought it was a great match, and I did enjoy seeing the Bucks with their old presentation back, as I talked about. That was really cool. I didn't think the casting could get any more insane, but now we have Jake something and Andrade back, like, for real this time. Which is fine, I guess. Like, I feel the same as like when he showed up in October or whatever it was. Yeah. Like, okay,
I know, and I love Andrade in ring.
You love Andrade, but it's just like it doesn't feel necessary.
And
even like in the context of the Callis family, but just I don't even think we need him in like I don't need him in general. Like, not that he's bad. I'm sure he'll have some matches, and I'm sure like eventually I'll stop complaining. But like, I don't even know if I am. But it's just,
and all I want to do is watch him wrestle and not do anything else. And AEW doesn't really have him wrestle very often, so I guess I'll wait and see. But like, I'm not confident that he's gonna get a lot of exposure. He's just kind of there, and when they want to use him, he's awesome. But like, it's just inconsistent. So I don't know. We'll see.
And like, even if he does get used, I don't know. Like, no offense to him, there's a lot of guys I'd rather see get used, especially in the top. Like, he can't be going main event right now.
Yeah.
The main event scene's insanely packed.
Yeah.
And like, even if we want new people in the main event scene, I want Fletcher and Takeshita. No offense to Andrade, I don't want him.
I agree.
If I have to choose, I want Fletcher and Takeshita. I want Ospreay when he's back to be at the top. I want Jay White to be at the back be at the top when he's back. Right? Like, it's just not. It's wrong place, wrong time, I think.
Yeah. And like, what were FTR doing there?
That's my question.
Okay, I thought this was going to be one of those things where you were like, oh, remember they blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, crap, I forgot. I really was confused by their appearance at the end of this.
I feel like Andrade and FTR worked together before. I do remember them having a match.
They did.
Together. Because wasn't it them teaming with Andrade and Malachi Black one time?
But it like...
Am I wrong?
If you're struggling to remember, then that is not a prominent enough angle...
they're teasing something, though.
...for them to call back.
It might not necessarily be a callback.
Okay.
It might be like them teasing something.
But they're heels.
I don't know what it is, though. I agree. I don't know. Like, maybe they want Andrade.
Okay. So I expected you to clarify this for me, and I feel better about it because I didn't understand.
Sorry, I mentioned Ospreay, and I forgot to talk about, like, he's going back to New Japan. I forgot to talk about that on news. I don't like that.
I know you wouldn't, yeah.
I hate it.
He'll be...
I don't like it.
Like, occasionally, I think, doing...
I don't know, though.
Yeah.
The way, okay, so maybe
they won't let him go full time.
The way they said it, the way he made it sound like we're losing him again.
I don't think
like so. It made it sound like he's gonna be back here to, I assume, feud with Death Riders or something. Like he said, you'd take care of business, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Which makes me think of Shotzi, which is terrible. And then he's gonna go reform United Empire with Callum Newman. He's like, oh, I didn't know United Empire would like basically crumble because I wasn't here and you suck.
Yeah.
Was like the gist of it, right? And apparently Newman wasn't happy about it. Like, and so here's my thing. I hope you're right in that it's like kind of like what Takeshita does. He's gone for like a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the dual contract, which is fine. If it's that, I'm okay with it. I just don't want it to be like, oh, Ospreay's going back there and now I don't get to watch Ospreay unless I want to like do the work to watch New Japan, which, let's be honest, I don't really.
I don't think they like, he's such a big deal that I can't see AEW letting him go.
There's no way they can't let that happen.
No.
And so anyways, what I think the vision with Ospreay returning, at least however temporary it may be, I think at the very least it's for this one thing in mind, and that's to elevate Callum Newman.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether you agree with that or not, which I don't know. I haven't watched much of him, and I know you're not like the hugest fan of him.
I just don't like it, and I usually try not to care about this. I don't like his look. Like, he's really fast in the ring, and he looks cool and athletic, but he just looks super bland. He looks like indie dude
does.
to me.
He does.
Yeah.
But I think the program in mind is like kind of do the Fletcher turn in a way. Like, because I think Callum Newman's like New Japan's young Osprey, right?
Right.
And then kind of in the way that like Newman's another example of New Japan's failure to like really capitalize on these new guys. Like Suji is the one who's like just kind of breaking up there now, but like Narita's not there. Yumura's not there. Umino is definitely not there.
No.
I know Bolton Oleg is kind of like mid card right now. I know he's like that big powerhouse guy that they've been pushing recently.
I thought of his until Wrestle Kingdom. I thought his name was Oleg Bolton. I didn't know it was Bolton Oleg.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
And so like yeah, I think the whole point is like they'll do the turn where like Newman gets frustrated with Osprey taking his spotlight, and like you do that turn, you build like a big grudge match or two, and you put Newman over big in the end, right? Which I think is a fine thing to do. I feel like that has to be their vision there.
I think
I'm just worried that Osprey's there for a while. And then
I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, hopefully not. Anyways, back to the thing that matters now. It's Willow championship celebration because she won the belt last week in dramatic fashion. Lighting weird was the first thing I wrote down.
Yep.
It was strange. And then they got a spotlight on her and it was better. She says she's feeling great. She knows the hard work begins now because now she's like defend the title. She knows it's important taking in the good moments as well and celebrate when things really matter. So she's out here right now with her friends to celebrate her reunion with the TBS title and with Statlander. She says all challengers are welcome, and she'll even take on challenges in one night because she's got the 2 different belts. Because that's what pro wrestling's all about. She knows someone's going to crash a party, and Mercedes probably has something to say, so she's welcome to come out. She comes out, and she's in like this white, like it's like she's mourning, right? Like it's like mourning kind of gear, I think.
It's very much like reminded me of New Day when they were mourning, and they went with the super ridiculous hats for a little bit. Like she's not quite to that degree, and hers is all white, but yeah. I think that was the point. She's mourning the loss of her titles or whatever.
Yeah. However many she's mourning, or if it's just the major one. Willow says Monet looks so great and they have so much to celebrate. She talks about Monet's accomplishments and unstoppable 2025. Then Monet's a meltdown, topples the table. She ends up going face first into the cake. Then Willow hits a doctor bomb on the cake. I thought it was fine. Like it continues Monet's downfall, but it doesn't have much development for her, which we crucially need.
Right.
And also doesn't really clarify Willow's future development. So like it was fine. I thought Willow was kind of entertaining, but we need like something better.
I agree. I do like that Willow's got great energy. The crowd loves her. All that. We love Willow.
Kind of make positive while kicking Monet while she's down because she kind of deserves it, right? Like,
and I like that she was smart enough to go, "Oh, you're probably gonna crash anyway, so just come out. Like, let's just get." Yeah, I did like that. But I do like you're saying they need to do a better job of telling Monet's fall from grace. Like we were saying, this could be an awesome story, but it's just
we were talking about this either last week or the week before.
She's bordering on cartoonish with this response, right? Like she's just freaking out. She's better than that. There should be something
is capable better.
Absolutely. A little more subtle, a little more something, because this is just like she's a furious toddler. You know what I mean? And I would rather they do something a little more subtle, but this is what we got. So I wasn't a huge fan of it either, but happy for Willow always.
Promos you're not a fan of in the women's division. It's not going to get better in a couple moments.
Oh my goodness. I know.
We get a recap of Hechicero beating Commander for a TNT title shot in a collision, and then Briscoe cuts a promo on that from, I think, his home. He shouts out Willow for winning the title last week. He says he's had one defense under his belt, but he's been kind of sitting around since the C2 was on. So now he's back to defend the workhorse title, and he's not been doing so good because he's initially compete and whoop some ass. He knows Hechicero is a bad man, but peeking in the future, he sees the TNT title not going anywhere. I thought it was solid, but collision, so...
Yeah, it's one of his, like... Because he can go anywhere from, like, serious, straightforward to, like, insane. And this was more on the serious end of the spectrum. It's fine. And, I mean, I don't see Hechicero as a legitimate contender, so I don't think there's any risk of a title change there.
Yeah. Then we get the Triangle of Madness.
I assume this is what you were referring to?
One can only assume.
So
Tech says Statlander's so insecure from what they just said that she reunited with a woman she hates, and she's like wondering when she's going to turn on either of them. And then Sisters of Sin say things. They're like, the lies are written on your face or something. I
can't remember.
Tekla challenges them to trios matches, says they're not friends, they're sisters. They're cut from the same cloth. They're something violence. Something spooky. I don't know. This was terrible again.
Yep.
I hated this so much. It was almost as bad as last week. I think I'll say last week was worse because it was it was worse because it came so out of nowhere. It's like this week, it's like once I saw it, I was like, oh god, we're doing this again. But like last week this was terrible though. They need to stop.
Let me
Like
ask you,
Tesla's trying.
aren't you
And
kind of looking forward to them doing it again next week, though?
no,
Just to
I
hate
don't
on it?
know. No, it makes me so uncomfortable. I don't like it.
I think
It's like Tekla's trying, but the other two need to stop. I need them to stop.
So-
They're terrible.
I find all three's delivery problematic because
I
Tekla's.
thought Tekla's delivery here was like a little goofy.
I
But
think
she's like at least like she's trying to convey something though. It feels like the other two aren't even trying.
I feel like she's overcompensating by trying to have more emotion or whatever than because the other
I did
two
think her delivery was a little weird, but they're just like
so wooden.
where sisters cut from this like it feels like I'm sure like they would say it's like intentional because like I said it's like the spooky sister thing, but like it doesn't work. It's not good. I don't care what it is, it's not good.
So I agree. I think it is intentional, but it doesn't mean they're good at doing it with intention. You know what I mean? Like they're still
it doesn't mean it's
really
good, even like I don't know if anyone would be good at it. You never know.
they are really wooden and cringeworthy to me, and they're front runner for worst faction of 2026 because it's 2 for 2.
I mean, even 2025, they were pretty horrendous.
Two really bad segments in a row for them. But I almost am looking forward to the next one.
I hated this.
It was bad. It's bad.
I don't know. Like the one from last week made it at the tail end of our worst of nominees. This one's probably at the front of the 2026 nominees. Like, talk about like it's the opposite of best bang for your buck.
Yeah.
Because like they're so short, but it's so bad, and it's like Tekla's delivery is what like not great, but at least she's saying something. I'm like, okay, sure, whatever. And then the other two say like one line each, and I just like immediately like I could watch this with a straight face, and then immediately the Sisters of Sin start talking, and I'm like, I'm done. Like I was watching this. This is the last thing I think I watched in the common room, and I'm like audibly cringing as I'm watching this, like amongst people who don't know what I'm watching. It's just like it was so bad.
I think the plan is like, hey, Sky Blue and other Heart, you guys are like basically very low energy, almost possessed, whatever. So Tekla, you've got to bring the energy and the whatever. And she's going a little too far in that direction. So it's all bad. Yeah.
It's not good. Anyways, moving on. Bandito now faces different LFI guy. It's Sammy Guevara, who is alive still.
And
he still exists.
I'm like, this came out of nowhere, but then they show us a little clip right of Guevara issuing this challenge on Collision, I think it was.
Because LFI.
Mm-hmm.
And Moros is also LFI.
Moros
is the third tag partner of Guevara.
Before you get into it, this is the one thing I pointed out of JR talking that made me laugh is he's saying he's going on and on about Guevara's potential. He's 32 years old. And he's been in this company for the whole time.
He's 32?
32 years old. So
I thought he was younger than that.
And then he also says, I don't know, just me, but I think it's bad luck to wear your wedding ring while wrestling. Like, what? I don't know. But anyways, that was the only notable thing.
Is that a thing?
I don't think that is a thing. I think JR's just a curmudgeon, grumpy old man, and stuff bothers him. So why are you wrestling with your wedding ring?
Or he just like says something and say something. Maybe it's not like I don't even know if it's always bothering him. It's just like he just has to like say something.
Yeah. But yes, that young 32-year-old Guevara and his potential. Yeah.
Pump kick from Guevara. He throws something in Bandito's face. It looks like kind of like Fuji's salt-ish.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah.
It must have been behind the rest back because like nothing came of it, like in terms of repercussions.
No.
Then he like moonsaults off the steps into a DDT on the floor, which was kind of cool. Bandito does a speedy comeback flurry, then a tourneo off the top. Guevara monkey flips Bandito on the ropes, which looks like a rough landing. Shooting star to a standing Bandito on the floor from Guevara, which also looked rough. By this point, his face was busted open, so like neither of us know when it happened.
But that shooting star was risky. He got enough of it to land safely, but it was close to not.
Good enough. Yeah, it just looked like a rough landing for him. Pop-up cutter from Bandito looked really great. That kind of made me smile because that's one of my guys' moves in 2K. Like I have that exact move, and so that was kind of cool. Guevara flips out of a 21 plex, smashes Bandito with a flying knee, and then the pulverizer for 2. It's like the backflip into the. He like has him in like a back suplex position, like flips him over his shoulder into a DDT. It's cool. It's the pulverizer. It's a
great combination.
Yeah. Bandito catches Guevara's foot, then backflips him and like kind of catches him on the landing with a pump knee.
Looks great really sick. Too. Yeah.
Then 21 plex gets the win. So really cool finish there. MJF's music comes out and he comes out with John Cruz, aka Serpentico without a mask.
Mm-hmm.
MJF compliments the match. He brags about his success in Mexico. He again calls himself CMLL World Champion, which again I think it's intentional because he's like it's MJF. But I'm still just like, no,
Yeah.
no. That's dumb. He has to ask Cruz for Mystico's name, which I thought was kind of funny. He says he's a bigger star in Mexico than Bandito, and he has a lot of potential. And because he respects Bandito's potential and country, brought Cruz as a translator. So Cruz is saying a bunch of stuff in Spanish. I'm assuming translating that or saying more insulting things.
They didn't give us any subtitles, so we don't know.
No, which is fine. I don't think it was necessary.
No.
MJF says it's a professional of Cruz to come to a dump, like I think that's what, Tulsa? That's Oklahoma, something like that. He says he hopes Bandito is smarter than he looks, and he has 6 diamond rings to his name, but he didn't bring any of them out because Bandito's ring belongs to him. He wants Bandito to hand it over, and then they can skip the match because he'd kill him anyways. And if he does the right thing, he'll walk back and put him over to Tony Khan, and maybe they'll wrestle on pay-per-view 5 or 10 years. He tells Cruz to translate. Bandito stops him, says he speaks English, and calls MJF a stupid son of a bitch. MJF kicks him in the nuts, takes his ring. He lands up for a ring shot, but Bandito ducks. MJF nails Cruz. Bandito kicks MJF in the nuts, takes the ring back, and he hits 21 plex to Cruz, and then 1 for MJF as well.
Mm-hmm.
So he got his lick in there.
But then he touched the belt.
He did, yeah. So he's Jinx. I actually thought it was a really good TV match. I thought some pretty entertaining spots. And actually, a few that got a reaction from me. I still have no idea when or how Guevara got busted open, but cool at least. And it sucks to know more for him because he's not bad on the mic, and he's got some really cool stuff in the ring. But now he's been pigeonholed as a tag guy in ROH's various partners.
Mm-hmm.
And we were kind of talking about it too, like his position in juxtaposition to the rest of like the pillars is really jarring because you have MJF as like the cornerstone villain world champion. Darby's like another cornerstone, like he's perennially on TV in big angles. He's like the big daredevil guy, and he's super over. And then even Perry now, like he's prominent in Jurassic Express. They kept trying with him as Jungle Boy. Then he was prominent as Scapegoat, right, in the Elite, which was big in 2024. And then like he was big when he came back and reformed Jurassic Express. Like he's been prominent too. Guevara's kind of the odd man out, right? So it's kind of weird. The promo afterwards from MJF was solid, though. I thought it was amusing and did well to hide Bandito's probable lack of skills on the mic. He just doesn't have a chance last week. At least he got to look good here.
Yeah, it was a fun opponent for Bandito, but again, like I haven't seen Guevara in forever, so he has 0 chance of winning considering Bandito's placement. But yeah, fun match. Gets MJF out there. I thought that part was probably a bit longer than it needed to be.
Yeah, I agree.
I also enjoyed the match. I think they've settled into like this is what Guevara is, and I was saying like if he's a WWE guy, I'm worried about him being released because it's just like clearly they don't have stuff for him regardless of how good he is in the ring or whatever.
He feels like a lifer there now, though.
He does. He does. So yeah, I thought it was a fun match. I'm not loving Bandito's positioning right now just because he's clearly not winning this title shot.
I saw someone say that, and I don't love that either, that he kind of has to take a loss here.
He's clearly just a placeholder challenger. I don't know. His momentum was so good coming out of 2025. And I like that he's getting a title shot and whatever, but clearly he's not winning it. But I guess we shouldn't say that because we've been shocked by title changes before. We were sure Samoa Joe had no shot of winning.
Literally yesterday. And then McIntyre, I would argue as well.
But I don't see it happening. But yeah, fun match.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. Then we move on to, I guess, the other half of Brodito. Brody King gets a quick vignette. It was basically how, like, his music and his offense, he's super violent, but it protects people he cares about, and it puts food on his table. He says he's more than a monster yelling. He doesn't have to scream to get his point across, and he wants everyone to know he's coming for the world. This was really simple, but I thought it was really cool, and it adds a bit more to his character. I'm up for the Brody King singles push. I'm not sure where he lands, but I'm up for it.
I don't think his delivery is amazing, but the fact that they're actually attempting to add depth to a guy that they haven't before, and I love Brody King, so I'm happy about that. And this is what you do if you're trying to elevate a guy, so I'm happy if they are trying to do that, even if it's just, I don't think it's necessarily to a top level, but he's a beast, man. He should be in the mix for secondary titles, I feel like.
I think secondary title is a perfect spot for him, especially if you're not going to do Brodito. Yeah. Like, I think Brodito is something worth coming back to, but if that's not what we're doing right now, I do think he's good for, like, he could be a guy I could see taking Ricochet's belt.
I could see him turning heel and killing Bandito, too, just to get really over as a heel. I don't want it yet, but
not yet,
I agree.
No.
I'm open to it.
It's something I'm open to down the line, I think.
Me too.
But definitely not now.
No.
Like, I would want them to do that after, like, I'd say a more sustained title run, and then like more sustained run than maybe another run with the belts.
Yeah.
Right, like something like that, and then like you do like, because you could do a vicious heel turn.
Well, and they started out by saying they're both okay with each other doing single stuff. So maybe at some point,
maybe Bandito does it better.
Bandito's getting more opportunities, and Brody's starting to get annoyed by that. Right? Would be fine.
You could have go this way. You could have, so Bandito's already got the ROH world title, which he can keep that or lose it. It really doesn't matter. It's ROH. But I could say like maybe not Brody King beating Ricochet, but you could have Bandito feud with Ricochet. You could have Bandito beat Ricochet and Brody King be involved with like fighting off the Goa, right?
Yeah.
And then you could have it so that like Bandito is successfully defending the title on Dynamite, on Collision, on whatever indies, right? Like kind of Ricochet's done, or like if he defends that in ROH too, right? Like something like that. I would probably have Bandito drop the ROH title in this case so that he can defend the national title wherever. But like we'll just focus on the national title. You have him defend it wherever, right? And he's being super successful. Then meanwhile, you have Brody King come up short against maybe Mark Briscoe for the TNT title. You have him come up short against Okada or Takeshita, whoever holds the international title. You have him maybe lose a Continental Eliminator to Moxley, or better yet, you have him go to a draw with Moxley and then lose the title match, right? Like you have like come closer to success, but then drop the ball there, and then he gets more and more frustrated. And then you have him murder Bandito, take the national title from him, something like that, right? Like that's an easy story you could tell throughout the next few months.
I think
that would be kind of cool.
Me too.
And I could see them realistically doing that.
Yes. It's actually possible.
Yeah. Then we get Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir. We get Storm knocking Shafir off the apron with a hip attack, a Uranagi from Shafir. She mocks the dancing that Storm and Cassidy were doing, and she throws Storm. The finish comes when Storm like rolls her up in a small package, and Yuta pulls the ref out, and it's just a DQ.
Yeah.
And like Roddy and Cassidy come down for the save. Claudio comes down, but then Death Riders don't fight. It was like, I don't know. This felt worthless. I thought like.
I didn't really.
Not even bad. It's just like it just didn't feel like it needed to be here.
I think the point was to introduce the idea of, is this a throuple now with Cassidy? Because at the end he's holding Storm and Shafir, right, one in each arm. Shirakawa. And Shirakawa is starting to look like, because Storm's always like, oh, looking at him kind of adoringly or whatever, and she's looks like Shirakawa is starting to shift her opinion of him, and I don't really care.
It's not a story I can get into.
Same.
It feels stupid. I mean, granted, this is kind of what we were saying that Storm's character is better for, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess better than her doing this as women's champion.
Right.
But doesn't mean I like it still.
And the match didn't really impress me, and then it's just over by a DQ, and then, we get a little segment after. None of this really did much for me, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I agree. Then we get a Pac interview. Renee's talking to him about Darby Allin. He says he's wrestled him twice, and it's established he's the winner and Darby's the loser. Darby comes in, says he's gone through hell with the Death Riders for a year and beaten everyone but Pac, so he needs the match. Pac says, quote, "Jog on, Bonnie lad."
I may add that to my my phrases in life.
Yeah. And Darby sprays him with a fire extinguisher, hits him with a skateboard, threatens to break his ankle in a doorway, and then Pac agrees just before the Death Riders come to chase Darby off. So this was a good way to get to the rubber match. The Pac promos never failed to disappoint, I think, and so I'm excited for that. And we were kind of talking about it before too. Like between this and the match before, the Death Riders are very still. Or I guess we kind of talked about it in the opener as well. Like the Death Riders are still very clearly heels, so it's really strange right now.
Yeah, where they're going with this, it's always nice to hear. Pac.
Moxley wasn't with them though when they ran off. He didn't come out with Shafir. It's super strange. Like that's another thing you can maybe tell is that Moxley's kind of distancing himself from them as he's like kind of got the respect of the fans again.
Yeah.
Right. Like, or as he's focusing on the Continental title, he's like, that maybe not necessarily the narrative of the match where he's getting beat up. You could do the thing where he's getting like beat up in the middle of the matches and Claudio's like, oh hey, you're weak. You're still winning, but you're weak. You could do that, or you could say, hey, you're focusing on the title. You cut all these promos about how like they're ride or die for each other. They're like their team is the hardest workers and they're all working for each other and like how it's Death Riders against the world. But then now it seems like Moxie's doing his own thing. Like you could do that as well, kind of like the Brody King thing, I guess we just said, but like in a heelish manner.
Yeah,
right?
You could.
So like there's a couple of avenues to go for the Death Riders turn. They just need to do it because otherwise I'll be sad.
Yes.
But point being, Pac-Man was good. I do think he probably loses the Derby finally, but that's okay because he's been looking really great lately. I just hope they find a way to keep him rolling
Me
with
too.
the C2 to like give him easy matches, right?
I agree.
Or not easy matches, but like just matches on it.
Where he actually wins things is cool because he's awesome. Yeah, I agree.
Main event time, or actually, no, wait, sorry. No, the show's over, actually.
That's right. Show's over.
Yeah.
Good show.
Yeah, it was good. Anyways, the Ops and Hangman's were a main event in a lights out match.
Which they turned the lights on, thank goodness, at some point, because the lighting was really hard to start. They were trying to do spotlights, right? Like, basically, it was completely dark, and then trying to move spotlights around, and it just wasn't working. So they ended up with lights on, I think.
We got Hangman shoving Hobbs in the post with a chair on his head. Or Hara moonsault the Hobbs and Swerve hits a DVD to Hook on the apron. Hook and an exploder suplex to Hangman through a table in the corner. Hook gets stapled by Hangman, followed by a pop-up powerbomb. Hobbs also gets stapled by Swerve while he's got him in a stalling suplex, but he doesn't face him until Hangman staples him in the balls and hits a rolling elbow. Nana gets flattened by Hobbs. Hobbs and Swerve go back and forth near the cinder blocks. World's Strongest slam to Swerve on the cinder blocks, but Hangman breaks the pin. Hangman goes after Hook, but he gets beat down by the Ops Dojo guys. They get Hangman and Swerve get chained together by Hobbs, but they fight back and use the chain to clean house. Hobbs accidentally takes a Hook, then Hangman hits a discus lariat. Hobbs catches a buckshot attempt with the spine buster. Near fall, but Swerve breaks up with a house call. Swerve stomped Deadeye on the cinder blocks to Hobbs, which looked awesome. Hangman with the chain assist rolling elbow to Hook, and then a house call. Buckshot to Hook, and then he gets hung with the chain, and he taps. So the babyfaces get the win.
Yeah. So for a lights out, I was kind of expecting more violence than this. You know what I
agree.
mean?
I thought it was fun, but for a lights out match, it felt like less.
Which seems weird to say when they're like, someone went through a table, someone got slammed and dead-eyed on the cinder blocks, and then
I was expecting it to be bloodier. Usually they are bloodier, but
people chained together.
I thought it felt like a good grudge match main event.
Yeah.
And like it feels like a natural conclusion to these guys against the Ops. At least maybe now they can go after MJF, or they kind of already feud with Joe, I guess. So like I don't know. It feels like the conclusion of this part of Hangman Swerve. At least now they're gonna move on to go after MJF or whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I thought this was good. There were some pretty good big spots, I thought.
Yeah.
And like Hook finally got his due, so it kind of made it feel like a natural conclusion.
And I like the spot with Hangman and Swerve getting out when they were chained together back to back, and how they get out of that, use the chain
really
quickly.
Cool. I thought so, yeah.
The stomp Deadeye finisher on the cinder blocks looked nuts. I thought it was a good main event. There's a couple issues along the way with positioning and things. One was on the apron where Hobbs had to sort of move around to the other side, I think it was.
Yeah.
Again, not as violent as you would expect, but still they would go way further than WWE ever would with the violence. So I thought it was a good main event. The crowd was really into it by the end of it. So yeah, a good main event. Nothing amazing. That's kind of the show for me, was like, I wasn't blown away by any match or segment, but I thought it was enjoyable top to bottom. I mean, the Triangle of Madness is the low point, but that was like a minute maybe, right? So overall, I felt like my immediate reaction is it's a B show, I think.
I think so. I feel like that's where we were landing.
Right? Good matches, but nothing amazing. And then no segment that really blew me away. The return of Andrade is supposed to be something. The addition of Jake something is supposed to be something. But those aren't like huge needle-moving arrivals, right? So I think a solid B show. I enjoyed it still. Wasn't a chore. All right, we'll move into a little break from the analysis of the wrestling into our trivia segment that we like to call Off the Top of His Head. So this week, the trivia, I sent you a text randomly and said, what year did you start watching wrestling? And you said 2016. So what I did was we're going to talk about the best matches of 2016 and see what you remember. I'm going to go with the top 15. I didn't go with cage match because I couldn't figure out how to work. And it's not Meltzer, so it's somebody else's opinion. We'll see how they feel, right? So
just WWE?
No, could be anything. So I'm going to start at 17. They had 20, but I'm going to start at 17 because I want to get this one. So there's one number 17 from TNA Impact Wrestling. Care to guess what it is?
Is it something with Matt Hardy?
It is. What was it that I would probably agree with?
Deletion.
It is the Final Deletion, right? Which I loved at that time. And I think went out of my way to show you and show Mom because I just thought it was probably
the only TNA match I'd seen for like
It was
For
so
probably-
clever and creative, and then it was just like done to death and not that interesting anymore.
Yeah, 'cause WWE did it, AEW did it, TNA did it again. I
Right.
think.
The first one was great. Number 16. Good luck. Oh, you might get it. Cruiserweight Classic first round match.
Gargano and Ciampa.
Correct. Damn. That's pretty good. I expected you have to guess at least.
It was one of the only, I think, first round matches I knew for sure. Might be the only one.
Extreme Rules match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from Extreme Rules.
Reign Styles.
Correct. I don't remember if
Where he
these.
spears in midair.
Nice. I don't remember if these we thought they were good or not, but
Then Rollins returns. I feel like I did, but I remember like a lot of people said it was good, so maybe I'm just like confusing it.
Battle of the Super Juniors tournament, New Japan.
That's not
Take a
no
guess.
idea.
2 people that are now in AEW that would
Omega one.
have an
No,
amazing.
Omega would be out of juniors. Was it Ibushi?
No.
Osprey?
Yes. And who's his? They used to say like this was the dream match. They finally were going to wrestle. Indie guy at that time.
Ricochet?
Yes.
That was that year? Okay.
Yeah. According to this, it's not
That makes
AI,
sense.
so it's got a better chance of being right.
No, it makes sense.
WWE Battleground, just a match, no title or anything. Epic feud that's happened.
Zayn Owens?
Correct.
I remember that being good, yeah.
Number 12, good luck. No holds barred match for the Evolve Championship.
Yeah, okay.
2 guys we like in ring that went through NXT.
Was this when Theory was there?
No. One guy, I don't know where he ended up, but he had his own signature match that you loved in NXT. Thatcher. And another sort of like shooter guy.
Riddle?
Yes, I was going to say Disgrace from WWE. Riddle.
Also, Fight Pit was kind of his thing on main roster.
True.
He had it once.
True.
I do love Fight Pit.
Falls Count Anywhere match for the women's Raw, the WWE Raw women's title.
Is this the match you mentioned?
Could have been.
Be, right?
What was
Banks
it?
and Flair.
Banks and Flair, yeah. So that was the one?
That was the one you were talking about, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't do that on purpose. Where we got the...
No, that is the one. That's the one.
What?
It's the bank statement in the
bank statement in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was when they were they traded the title like a million times.
They did.
In 2016.
Number 10.
That's when they got rid of the Divas title.
Number 10, good luck. It's a 6-man tag from Bola from PWG.
I'm not even going to try that.
Sounds good. Cole and the Bucks versus
Okay.
Ricochet, Seidel, and Osprey.
I think I've seen clips from that.
That
actually.
sounds pretty awesome.
It does, actually.
Number
Indy's Adam Cole. That's crazy.
Number 9, title versus career match for WWE Intercontinental Championship at No Mercy.
Oh, Ziggler Miz. That one was a great match. I remember that. That was Prime Miz.
We
That's
don't
Prime
always
Miz.
say Miz has great matches, so that's good.
That's Prime Miz. That's probably just sometime after the Talking Smack promo. Like, that's Prime Miz.
Nice.
That was
good for him.
Miz good. Miz as Intercontinental Champion was the best Miz.
IWGP Intercontinental Championship match from Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Was it Nakamura? Was he
Nakamura and?
best matches? Tanahashi?
No. Gaijin.
Styles?
Yes. Styles
that was-
Nakamura. Yep.
Probably one of his last matches too then.
Number 7. NXT Women's Championship match from NXT Brooklyn 2 or 3? 2.
Asuka for sure.
Yep.
Brooklyn 2. Was this when? No, Mickey James came back in Toronto, right? It's not Mickey James.
Nope.
It's too soon for Ember Moon.
Yep. Well, it's not Ember Moon, whether it's too soon or not.
Was it still Bailey?
It is Bailey. That's correct.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it'd be like too late for her to be a main roster or not.
Good luck. Cruiserweight Classic second round.
Cedric.
Wow, yes.
Ibushi.
Yes. Why? Why would you know that?
That's one of the most acclaimed matches from that tournament. That's what got Cedric signed. Remember the
yeah.
set?
Oh, he did the Triple H thing, right? Where Triple H comes out.
I think he was like out there for too long, and Triple H would like get him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ibushi having WWE matches.
G1 Climax Tournament semifinals.
Okada.
No.
Tanahashi.
No.
Naito.
Yes.
Omega.
Yes, Naito Omega. This was from when you started liking wrestling at what, 8 or 9 years old?
Yeah. The New Japan ones are like pure shot in the dark.
This one is another New Japan. IWGP
Okay.
Heavyweight Championship match from Wrestle Kingdom 10. So you know it wasn't to two previous.
Okada.
Correct?
It was Okada.
And?
It was. I'm trying to think of who won the Tanahashi.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it's quite timely, actually.
Well, I only knew because I was like 90% sure Tanahashi won the 2015 G1.
Yeah.
So that was my
Makes sense.
basis.
Smart. Yeah. Number 3. This one I would definitely agree with.
Educated a guess.
You know this for sure. Best 2 out of 3 falls match for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
From
DIY.
TakeOver Toronto.
I will TakeOver Toronto. Beautiful. What a gem.
Yes.
What a gem.
DIY Revival, indeed. Number 2. NXT TakeOver Dallas.
Is it Nakamura Sammy?
Correct.
That's a classic.
It is a great match.
That one I haven't watched in a while. So like
when Nakamura would try hard and get
that was Nakamura's debut.
Number 1 match of 2016. I don't think we agree with this choice. From SummerSlam. Styles Cena.
That's not a bad pick, at least.
For the best match of the year? Come on now. I mean, I
guess, but like, main roster seems to lean that way.
That's true.
Or they seem to lean main roster. And it is Styles Cena, to be fair.
Yeah, you did very well. I thought you would, anything that wasn't North American, you were going to struggle with. Or, well, the Bola, I guess.
Yeah, New Japan, you can kind of guess, as long as you know the guys of the era, you can
That's what I was thinking. You can hone in.
The hardest thing was knowing that Styles and Nakamura still were there, at least like for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because I think it's New Year's Dash where Omega boots Styles at a Bullet Club.
Right.
And Nakamura's gone not much longer after that. Because Styles debuts at the Rumble, right? So he's gone really soon. But Nakamura isn't debuting for like a month or two. So I don't know. I don't remember the exact timeline of when he left.
Well, you did very well. You know a lot about 2016 for some reason. Now we'll shift gears. Quickly go over the other stuff that I watched this week, and you probably are aware of a bunch of that happened, so we'll talk about those things in what we call Highspots and Restholds. So taking a look at Raw this week, I don't know why I watched Raw. Maybe I think because I heard it was terrible, like the Stranger Things stuff was terrible.
Stranger Things, yeah, you wanted to see it. You wanted to see it.
I did. So actually, I was homesick, so I decided to take the time to watch it. And it turns out Stranger Things meant props, cheesy graphics, really not much else, to be honest. To be fair, I don't watch Stranger Things. I don't know. Do you?
No.
I think your mother and I watched one episode. It didn't grab us. I know that's kind of blasphemy at this point. So we didn't continue. So I'm not a fan of the show. So maybe
other things to the last season. So I'm just like not really like I'm good.
And I was pointing out to you, I thought it was hilarious that when the Netflix era started on Raw, they were jamming anyone like
even remotely related to Netflix
on Netflix shows, people I'd never heard of, didn't really know. But now when they dedicate an episode to a Netflix show that is the biggest show in the world, I think that's very fair to say right now. Like not one person even did anything, was there, was like had nothing, absolutely nothing. So I thought
and the shows like I guess the stars are too big.
Yeah, I guess so. So there were some notable things that happened. For example, in the opener, we get new women's tag team champions, right? So Rhea Ripley and Io Sky win the titles after beating the Kabuki Warriors. Really long match by Raw standards. 2 of the matches. So this was 17 minutes, I think it was. And I liked it. It was an old school format, right? It was the heels take shortcuts to get control of each one of the baby faces for a while and isolate them and cut off the ring. Then the heels sort of face their comeuppance, eventually lose to a Riptide Moonsault combination. So I thought it was a really good tag match. Final third of it had a really good pace to it. And these women are super talented. I have a couple questions about Kairi Sane. Maybe is she as good as people say she is? But the other 3 are definitely awesome, and they were given a lot of time here. So I quite like this match. Gunther's out to talk, and his thing is tap like a bitch, I think, which is kind of funny to me right now.
Is he going to take Okada's thing?
He, no joke, had to be over 5 minutes to get to the ring. Walks down, stands on the announce table, takes forever to get into the ring to speak. And then he says things. AJ Styles come out. to say, and basically he ends up slapping Gunther. So now we know Gunther's next program is AJ Styles. And your thoughts on
I
that?
saw they're giving that match away the next week though, so I feel like that's kind of a weird choice.
I feel
I
like,
guess you have so many matches on your PLEs, you really gotta let those stories build. Though,
and I don't
right?
see Styles being positioned where he's anything more than that. I don't know. Is that just me?
Well, I don't know. I just thought like I saw the joke is like Gunther's gonna retire him too.
Maybe that's
He's almost there.
That's his new gimmick. We also get a new women's IC champion, right? So Becky Lynch cheats and holds on to the ropes. The ref doesn't see it to win back her title after 13-minute match. I thought this was boring. It's against Maxine Dupree.
It's Maxine Dupree.
I sound like you, but Becky Lynch's outfit was awful. Apparently, it was some shout out to Star Trek because she's appearing on something Star Trek.
She
apparently,
is.
So
she should do like she could do like I think because it was yellow, right?
Yellow or green, yeah.
Do like Kill Bill, it would be cool.
So Maxine did a move, and I tried to send you a clip, but it wouldn't go through. That baffled commentary, and they spent like a minute or more trying to explain it. She basically hooks Becky like she's going for a backslide. So picture it, and then she just drops to her knees.
I did see that.
And commentary are like,
I did see something about
they
that.
couldn't.
Yeah. I was like kind of like Widow's Peak, but like not.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But
like, you know what I'm trying to
it looks like it would have no impact on anything and be painful. But
like the bubble bomb.
I hear lots of, she's improved so much. I would agree. She has gone from terrible to not good,
bad.
Right? So that is not a main roster.
There's your improvement.
That is not a main roster thing. That's a you should be on NXT thing, right? Like that.
Yeah, I think you're looking at people on NXT or even Evolve that are better. Like I guess like really Kendall.
Layla Gray is kind of doing the same. Kendall Gray. She's kind of doing the same gimmick. She's doing like the shooter straps down thing, but way better. So anyways, Becky's champion again. This is on Monday. Sorry, I'm going to cough. I'm going to mute.
Bad air.
So Monday comes before Tuesday. So
that is, yes.
On Monday Night Raw, we get a package for Oba Femi. So sort of teasing what's going to happen the next night on NXT, which we'll get to. It's really quick. But when you couple that with what happened on NXT, it seems like he is gone from NXT.
Yeah, it kind of tracks.
Vaquer and Rodriguez is to continue. And all I want to say here is Vaquer is great, but the quality of opponents for her, man. Like Nikki Bella, lengthy program, Raquel Rodriguez. And I don't have a problem.
But they need to build her. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with Rodriguez, but yeah.
No, talent-wise, Raquel is great, I think.
But she's not at that level, so they're kind of...
No, that's a fair complaint.
They're tarnishing this title reign a little bit, and I love Vaquer. And I guess
I told you that's what happened to Io. They're like, they'll put her champion, you're like, oh, great, and then it's like, you know?
And it's also, like, is she hurt or is she not? There's some speculation that she's actually... Because she's in a boot, right? Even on the show.
I did see that, yeah.
So I don't know, but anyways.
That one confuses me.
So Liv Morgan's back, and in her first match, she faces Lyra Valkyria. And at some point in the match, Rodriguez slaps Bayley. So we now know that's like the switch, right? And so Bayley goes bananas, and they either brawled to the back or chased her to the back. I can't remember.
So then, don't ring the bell around Festus and don't slap Bayley.
That's right. Face. So Liv hits the Oblivion for the win after 10 minutes. And my only thing is like, this is where Lyra's sort of settling in, because they really tried with her, right?
Yeah.
They gave her a really long program with Becky. And so now she's here to job to Liv Morgan returning. So I think it's kind of like they were not impressed with the results of Lyra's push, maybe.
Yeah, I guess there's worse place to be because Liv Morgan is like a pretty big star now, but still, yeah, I see what you're saying.
And she had nothing like that. It was all about Liv, basically. Then we had an Austin Theory, Logan Paul are interviewed by Byron Saxton, and I only mention that to say that positioning Austin Theory directly beside Logan Paul and having them both speak is not good for Austin Theory, because he is really boring and bland, and Logan Paul is really like much more charismatic and interesting and hateable. So I don't think
that's not good. That we're like,
I know.
Liking Logan Paul more than I'm sorry. I'm so
presenting them side by each, as my grandpa would say, and having them both talk is not good for Austin Theory, I don't think. He comes across as really bland.
Which starts with his new entrance as well is really cool, I think.
Yeah.
That he had on Raw, I think the week before this. It's no Kit Wilson, but
And then in the main event, another super long match, 26 minutes. CM Punk just beats Braun Breaker clean. So
after getting demolished through the table, it's not.
So is this
by that?
So I'll say it was a really good match to bookend the show with good matches, the tag match, and then this. There was a viral botch that didn't really bother me. It was the missed Breakensteiner, and they did take to it and go back to it. But I don't know. These things happen. I think
it's just because of the way Breaker landed, though.
It wasn't terrible.
And, it's also because it's just a lot of people not calling that out. Whereas if that happens in AEW, everyone jumps on it though. That's the thing. If it's a mistake, then that's fine. If it was planned, then I think it's stupid. But if it's a mistake, then that's fine. But it's just because AEW, it's then you're jumping on that, and everyone's oh, dangerous, but no one says a peep here, right? So that's the part that's kind of iffy, I think.
My notes say the LWO come out to neutralize Vision, which it wasn't actually LWO, but that's the vibes it gave me. It was Penta and whoever else came out with him.
That's racist.
A Spears blocked with a knee and a GTX for the Punk win, and
after Punk gets demolished by Breaker too, so it's that's the thing is at least take out Breaker with more than one.
I've heard people speculating Breaker wins the Rumble and they run this back at Mania, and Breaker wins it at Mania, but it doesn't feel like that to me.
I agree.
Just going off vibes, that's not the vibe I'm getting.
Because I think Breaker was one of the Rumble favorites, but now if I was gonna have Breaker win the Rumble deal, I wouldn't have booked this match.
Right.
There seems no point to book this match.
And it was.
It'd be the same thing if Drew lost the match he just won, but then won the Rumble and face. You know what I mean? Drew won because they're not doing that. And I think I would follow the same logic with Punk.
Yeah. So I don't know where they're going with it. The show was okay. The Stranger Things stuff, it was easy for me to ignore because I don't really watch the show, and they didn't really try very hard. One thing that was really funny to me was they go to their retro cam, so they're scanning the crowd for people dressed in retro stuff, and they really couldn't find anybody. I don't know if they were hoping to find people in 80s stuff because Stranger Things is in 80s.
Or they also had a collab with Stranger Things in their merch. I think they were probably selling that. Maybe
so it's there's a guy in a Stone Cold vest. That's retro. So they really struggled to find people that made me kind of laugh because they're the camera's panning all over the crowd, right? And they're just looking for anyone that looks like they're in anything retro. One guy was dressed as Macho Man, so that's retro. It made me laugh. NXT, it was New Year's Evil episode, right? So there was some notable stuff here too. I thought it was pretty fun. Felt like a bit of a reset because of A, the new year, and B, a lot of people have been called up, right? So Trick's gone, Jordan Grace is gone, Obafemi's going to be gone, Javon Evans is gone. So that's a lot. And I'm skipping some of the small things that don't really matter to streamline this process. I don't need to go over everything. So the show is supposed to open with Thea Hale defending against Blake Monroe, the North American title, after the well-discussed botch of the finish, and Hale wasn't supposed to win, etc., etc. Anyways, Blake comes out with what I thought was a pretty good attack and beatdown of Thea Hale to open the show. Steps, chairs, and thrown into the barricade that breaks. They really need to reinforce those barricades because Thea Hale weighs all of probably 105 pounds and still went through the barricade. But officials break it up. I thought it looked more vicious than a lot of things that WWE does, so a pretty good job here. And it was sort of a thread throughout the show because Ava bans Blake Monroe from the building, and Hale still is determined to do the open challenge, so that becomes a thing as the show progresses. And I also like this because it's then kind of well, this match was supposed to happen, the match isn't happening, so there's a vacuum, so Ricky Saints just comes out to cut a promo, right? Basically there's blank space here, I'm just going to fill it and start talking because I'm a heel champion, or not champion, a heel guy now. So he basically says that NXT needs him. He's the one star, isn't going anywhere. He wants to fight whoever wins the Femi Leon Slater match that's in the main event. Solid stuff, nothing special. And it kind of makes sense if this is kayfabe and the opening match didn't happen, he just kind of jumped in the ring to fill space there. My next note says Ava is producing hard backstage. She's all like, it's frantic now. Oh my God, this match that was supposed to happen
Someone needs to step up.
Dude, hold that for a minute. Hold on to that thought because it's coming up. She sends Mr. Stone to find Blake Monroe. I guess he finds her because then Ava confronts her, ends up banning her from the building. And then this is where I'm like, I'm hearing some rumors that Monroe's on her way out too. So are they writing her off here? But I don't think so. So here's I'll read this, what I have here. So I watched NXT at Nate, that's my other son's basketball practice, on my phone, and I wasn't taking notes. So then in those cases, right, when I go to do my own notes, I go to TJR's recap, shout out to him, to refresh my memory. And then I sort of take my own notes from there. So I actually went to a second source because I simply could not remember that there was a Tatum Paxley Izzy Dame match on this show. Like, I was like, no, there wasn't. So then I pull up somebody else's review and I'm like, oh, there was. Then I'm actually Googling, like, was there a match left off of when some people watched NXT this week? No, I don't know if it's because they just had a match at whatever the PLE was, but I could not remember. Yeah. I think maybe I remember a top rope Spanish fly by Paxley, but that could have also been their other match. It's like,
I know they had a match on what was the deadline?
Right, and it's just like this one overwrote the other one, and anyways, it happened. And apparently Paxley got her win back because she won with her, whatever it's called, midnight, what is it? Graveyard, Cemetery Drive. There we go. We got there.
Cemetery Drive. Yeah.
So yeah. So it looks like Dame's moving on to bigger things, so I think this was like the end of this feud between these two. JC Jane and Kendall Gray, is that the right name? That's the right name.
Yes.
They had a good physical 13-minute match.
Almost too physical.
I guess so, right? It did look incredibly real, and I guess it was. At one point, Lainey Reed dragged Kendall Gray to the floor as Henley distracted the ref on the other side. Gray took out Reed with a suplex on the floor. And then in the end, Fallon has to cheat. I think it was Gray Irish whipped Jane into the ropes, and Henley grabbed her to stop her from rebounding, and that led to the rolling elbow by Jane for the win. And I'm going to say it, man. I don't know if I said it before. JC Jane's good, I think. And
that's crazy. From 2.0 days.
I sent you a video clip of the knee that looked absolutely devastating. And
I saw like
apparently
a post about, like, I think a picture of her like after she had dental work done. Yeah, because I think it was a bit of a shoot there.
Yeah, and Kendall Gray is already good, and she's going to be great, I think. The crowd was on fire for this. I'm really looking forward to watching Kendall Gray. I'm hoping they don't grab her to main roster sooner than she should. But in ring, she's really good, and she's kind of better than most people at this point already. So pretty excited to see her develop in 2026. So Thea Hale comes out selling multiple injuries. She still wants to have the open challenge for a North American title. So my notes, because like the women run out, because she's basically like, whoever gets here first can have a title. So my note, right. You know who doesn't want a North American title shot? Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, Sol Ruka, Zarya, Jordan Grace. Anybody who's anyone is not interested in the North American title. You know who is interested in it? Nikita Lyons, Wendy Chu sighting, and then other jobbers who I don't even know.
Awesome.
So that's where we're at. So Paxley runs through all the jobbers with a chainsaw, but she kind of stops right before the ring to kind of pose with the chainsaw, and then Izzy Dame
kind of keep them away, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
And then Izzy Dame runs into the ring from the other side to claim the title shot, and she actually ends up winning with a super Dame over, as it's called, the like sky high off the second rope or whatever. After 11 minutes,
Dame over's not bad. I saw her call herself the Great Dame as well, which I thought was pretty funny. Like, I thought
she has Dame over on her boots, which I like too.
It's funny. Yeah, I don't hate that.
So Dame controlled most of this match, as she should, because the idea is A, she's bigger and stronger, and B, Hale's been beaten up before this match. And I've been saying, like, the culling need to do something, right, to ramp things up. I don't mind. It feels like with Dame's recent trajectory, this is the right spot for her, right? However you feel about if she's good at it or not. That a mid-card title in NXT is where they kind of need to see what they have with her as a heel. So I have no problem with this. This is how they fixed the Hale accidental title run, I guess, was to flip it onto Izzy Dame. And then again,
And you could have Monroe go up to the top at some point.
You
'Cause
could.
I saw there's I saw the plans not to call her up yet.
So then, but she's a heel, Jane's a heel, so I don't know where we go with that. But anyways,
I would have on Kendall Gray, and you could have gotten Jane out of here.
You're right. You could have done that. I don't know if it's too soon for Gray. As much as I like her, character-wise, she's not that interesting right now. But Ethan Page gets an in-ring segment. He's great, doing what he always does. He's referring to himself as a big game hunter because he bagged himself a moose, which I think is kind of funny. And like he's going on about, I own this belt, and I've gone here and there and there. So he's an international icon. First person to interrupt him of many is your boy, Jasper Troy. He has chains. I think he had the belt hooked in the chains, actually, is how he's carrying it.
So cool.
He has a speed title. He's the monster of NXT. The speed title was his first title, but it won't be the last, I guess, hinting that he wants a North American shot. It's your favorite guy. Briggs comes out next, and I know, like, Will Washington, 2 guys with a chain gimmick in a row, that's tough.
Man of Mayhem, though.
Back to back. So he says he's the best big man in NXT. Stax is next, and he's the only guy carrying TNA gold. Like, that's some sort of credential, I guess. He's more...
Has anyone else from NXT won a... No, wait, sorry. People from NXT won TNA title. People from TNA have won
that's
NXT.
right.
Right,
and
so
he's more international than Page since he literally is the international champion. I guess that's fair. And then it's our boy Shiloh.
Do you wrestle in another country, though?
I don't know.
So.
That's, Canada.
I guess.
And maybe that's it.
Technically qualifies.
Shiloh Hill is out next. He says he'll end Stax's title reign when he beats him next week. And Tavion Heights.
So he's more concerned with a belt for a company he doesn't work for.
That's right.
Just to clarify.
That's right. Tavion Heights is the last one to come out. He says he'll be taking the speed title from Jasper Troy. And then
he's more concerned with the speed title. I guess he's in the tournament, but like still.
I think he won. Did he win the tournament, or is it still going? I don't even remember. I pay so little attention to that nonsense. So I think the point here was people try to hit Ethan Page, but he keeps moving, so they hit somebody else by accident, and then it incites a brawl, basically. And then, so did you see anything with Shiloh Hill and Ariana Grace?
No.
You didn't see this? It was funny.
I
So
don't think so.
Shiloh Hill gets Briggs and Stax out of the ring, and he kind of does a little dance with Ariana, kind of similar to what like Orange Cassidy and Tony Storm are doing.
Yeah.
And then and I think it fits because remember he's like hunting or whatever, eating raccoons, but also he's like this complicated renaissance. So he knows how to ballroom dance, I think is the point they're getting across. And then he dips her, and she seems to like sort of be, this is kind of impressive. And then his fake tooth falls out and hits her like right in the neck and then onto her chest, like perfectly. Like you couldn't have planned it better. And of course she's disgusted by this, so it was pretty funny. He like dips her and his fake tooth, the whole thing falls out.
That would be really difficult to pull off.
They did it really well. It made me laugh. Joe Hendry needs to get back up because he wants to face Dion Lennox. And I think Ava's like, well, all of Dark State's there. And he's like, well, I'll go get a couple heaters. And she's like, good luck to you. So he convinces OT.
It's Hank and Tank and then maybe someone else.
Nope. He approaches OTM and convinces them to be his backup.
That doesn't seem right.
Basically, because they're badasses. And if they want a title shot, it's like, I'll get you in the orbit of the tag champs. And they're like, okay. So I guess.
That's a weird combination.
I thought so too. Fatal Influence and Zaruka have an encounter backstage. Ruka's talking about taking the title away from JC Jane. And I liked it. Jane just subtly is like, because it started out by saying like, your tag team of the year or whatever, right? And then so Saul's like, oh, I'm going after your title, blah, whatever. And she's like, oh, I thought you were supposed to be in a tag team, and then just walked away, right? And you could see Zarya kind of look at. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah. And is this the slowest burn ever is my question.
It's in competition with Fraxion.
I think it's longer now. I think
maybe.
I don't know. But anyways. Ethan Page has an interaction with Bourne backstage, who is also with Tate Wilder. Sure. Whoever Tate Wilder is.
I know that name.
I think he's in Evolve or...
He's definitely... I've heard that name. I just don't know who that is or why they are.
Bottom line is Page ends up getting close to Miles Bourne right in his face and going, can you hear me now? And then walk away. So they can't have this kid on screen without some sort of joke about his hearing impairment. But it kind of fits with Page doing it, right? Because that would be...
Yeah, that's fair.
On brand for him. And then in the main event, right, Oba Femi retained his title. He beat Leon Slater in 12 minutes with a pretty sudden fall from grace. I thought it was good. It wasn't great. It's what you would expect. Like Oba's slow, methodical, powerful, and Slater's trying to fly around and quicken the pace, obviously. But I think this is crazy to say. I'm going to stand by it. I'm going to say it with my full chest or whatever they say. I think I enjoyed JC Jane and Kendall Gray more than this match, which is pretty crazy. Because they were the same length, basically. I was more into the women's match than this one. And then the huge moment to end the show, right? Robert Stone runs into Ava's office, interrupts her. She's talking to a bunch of Evolve people, or it could be LFG people too. I don't know. And here it is, Jack. She's telling them that they need to step up because so many people have left NXT for main roster. So they'll be stepping up. And Stone is Stone's frantically like, did you see what Oba just did? And then we're just shown simply the show ends with the title, the NXT Championship belt, just sitting all alone in the ring. I don't like that. I read somewhere that Tony D was there watching from the crowd, but I didn't notice him.
Why did he win the belt back then? I saw someone say like, oh, it's like how Asuka vacated the title because she didn't lose. Oba's lost though.
That's true.
Not only has he lost the North American title, but even in the context of the NXT title, he lost already and then won it back. So why did he win it back?
I saw somewhere that they just decided it's a very sudden nope, we want Oba now. This wasn't the long-term plan, and then it's a sudden thing
it can't have been, because I was like, if that's a long-term plan, it's a really crappy long-term plan.
So I assume we're going to get some sort of tournament or something, which is fine. I like a good tournament. But yeah, just belts. And I feel like they kind of spoiled it too by having an Oba Femi vignette on Raw the night before.
Yeah.
I thought that was strange.
You could argue Javon has been on Raw for Raw and Smackdown a couple times without having to get called up. But I guess hyping a vignette, I guess it's a little
seemed weird. But honestly, a pretty enjoyable NXT. I guess it was like a special episode, right? Being their New Year's one. So I thought a couple good matches on there, and just lots of notable things happening, right? It feels like they're kind of resetting because they've lost a whole bunch of top talent, and it's beginning of the year. So good combination. And that is everything I have. You have anything else you wanted to discuss before we sign off here?
I don't think so.
All right, well, that's going to wrap up episode 286. Appreciate you taking time out of your week to listen to us talk about wrestling. No major shows or anything going on this week, so it'll just be back for 287 with the standard fare of some more Dynamite, NXT, and Raw
talk.
Get
the worst stuff soon.
Worst of, we got to start working on that. Hopefully we can get that out to you at some point. Appreciate you joining us. We'll see you back here next Saturday. Until then, everybody, take care.